Hi, and good Friday to you. Today, I would like to say you will know me by my weakness and not my wellness. And this is very related to the content that I put out earlier this week about imposter syndrome. And I was speaking about how prevalent imposter syndrome is and how many people experience it, and how I find it to be something that I've experienced when living behind masks and trying to present a shiny exterior in my dimensions of wellness, as opposed to the life that was actually producing any real wellness. And so I think that there's a deeper dig into this that I felt is important, because I have been in environments where it has been said or expressed that people will know you or believe you by the fruit that is seen. And I think that kind of conveys this, like, look at my shiny exterior, and if you want to know how that was achieved, then you can dig into a blueprint that achieves this. And what I believe, the case that I would like to make is that I think that actually your success isn't helping me get through my trial at all. How you got in action through the same trial as me, now that's valuable. And I think that indicates that we actually, as humanity, should be linking arms by trials. And we do pay attention to success stories. It catches our eye. People's wellness and the appeal of an external life certainly do catch eyeballs, but it's not helpful. Those are not the blueprints that need to be shared, and that we should be, as an individual, personal lens, paying attention to. For example, the champions in society of certain causes are the people who have overcome them. So a family that has gone through cancer may be the voices and the bodies that are the most dedicated to the cause of cancer. Someone who has gone through an environmental disaster would be, through their experience, extremely passionate about that cause. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Animal rights activists, or anyone with diabetes is the most passionate about the experience of diabetes. So my point is that whatever you've had to overcome should be the blueprint and the fruit that you are looking to share with others if you want to lead a great life. And I think that's a shift in perspective where, we tend to celebrate or think about these shiny exteriors being a great life, and that is what we should share, and that also those are blueprints in some way to help one another, where we should actually be celebrating our struggles and our suffering and our sorrows and our weaknesses, and using those stories of how we use our personal resources to overcome or to survive or to currently be going through these life challenges. And because that is life, like I said in another video, our resources are our actual life, like the heartbeat, our action, our breath. It's us going from a belief system to action. And so, however, if we were experiencing a trial, like, for example, if you were in business experiencing a failure of a company, or you went through a failure of a company, then you would know the way in which you could use your resources to overcome that challenge, or to come back from that. And that's helpful to someone who's going through that experience now. Not if someone is going through the experience of a failing business and then they're just grasping onto success stories of other people. It's not going to be the blueprint that's going to walk them through that process. And I think that the more that we humble ourselves to share these things, like I say, to lead a great life by giving that fruit to others, the more we will find ourselves to be more approachable, more relatable, more compassionate, build greater empathy, have greater emotional intelligence, and really be living life. So it eliminates this imposter syndrome experience that I spoke about, like kind of going up a mountain of greatness and then realizing like, oh crap, this is a lot of, this is a big fall. You know, if people find out that I'm a fake, it doesn't feel like that if what you're really sharing and giving out are genuine, real experiences of suffering and trial and challenge and weakness. There's not a feeling of fraud in sharing that. Obviously, it's hard to, like I say, humble yourself to feel like that's going to be accepted, or not looked upon. Like, it's hard to think that people won't think you're weak when you're sharing your weaknesses. But my plea is to not waste your sorrows, because the real greatness is in other people actually accepting you because that's valuable to them. And so if you want to contribute to society, if you want to contribute to the world, to other people, give that fruit, because that is going to be what's going to give you what you're really searching for. And it will give you the acceptance and the validity, the contribution, and the love that we're really looking for. But we tend to, as a culture and humanity, go about it in this other way of presentation. So it's like another flip. And I think that is something that I've been learning and understanding to a great degree, and taking off these masks and realizing that the best things I have to offer are the weaknesses. And it does remind me of, the verse that, I will boast about my weaknesses, my insults, hardships, persecutions, and difficulties, because in my weakness, I'm strong. And so I think that I would encourage anyone who has had imposter syndrome experience, or has felt, this idea of sharing the external as being valuable to others, or being the only thing to share is like a success story, to shift the lens and understand that is not actually what's helpful to anyone. And I think we can all realize that when we think about that in ourselves. And I would just encourage that. This is a great weekend coming up, with, reflection for those of us celebrating Easter. And I think that the message of Easter is also someone who took themselves to the lowest of humanity to actually be the greatest gift to everybody. And so I think that story is a blueprint to use as motivation or inspiration to understand that this is the truth. So don't waste your sorrows. Find a way to recognize and understand the value of that, and find a way to share that, and start to actually lead a great life through your weakness. So have a great weekend. Happy Easter, and see you next week.